Hello! You've reached my channel, Cosmic Vibrations. My name's Ara, and I'm about to do a general reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign for the month of July 2018. I'm going to do an 11-card Celtic cross spread as a general reading, and afterwards I'm going to hit some specifics like love, career, and health. So bear with me. This is the most boring part when I'm picking the cards. I hope you guys are well. Okay. Pardon me, I'm counting them. Okay. Here we go. Wow, you have a lot of major arcana for the month of July. And keep in mind, this is a general reading. And this is for anyone who has their sun, moon, or rising sign in Taurus. Not all of this will apply. It may not, but I'm sure there'll be something in here that you can relate to. It isn't quite the same thing as doing an individual reading for one person. Okay. Okay, ready? Here we go. Your central experience for the month of July. I'm still getting used to the fact that through the camera, everything's reversed. Is the Empress. Lovely card to get as your central focus for July. Okay. This says that it's all about creating abundance through creativity, through what brings you happiness and joy, and anything that has to do with creative ideas, creative ways of interacting with what you want to manifest will bring the best results rather than logic. Also, the Empress is Mother Earth, so this could indicate that some of you may be giving birth, whether it's giving birth to an actual child or a project or a creative pursuit. You're giving birth to something in your life. And this may have been gestating for a while, but it feels like it's ripening and getting ready to come forth. And also, this is about taking care of your body and spending time with nature and the natural world and getting back in touch with your basic essence. And the Empress is all about fruitfulness, flourishing, things opening up even more, and manifesting blessings in your life based off of your belief in your own abilities. So you're countering the situation with that. Also, I should mention the Empress can sometimes mean important women in your life, whether it's a mother or a prominent sister or a best friend or a lover. She oftentimes represents the ideal woman, or a woman that shows such a strong aspect of the great goddess or the divine feminine that you can easily see the divinity in this person. The next card, which is your challenge, is the Hierophant, the speaker of ageless wisdom. And in this deck, I really love this card because it's Chiron, the wounded healer, rather than the Pope, or specifically religious people. This represents wisdom, healing, and bridging the upper and the lower, or the mundane earthly reality, and with the higher realms of dreams, inspirations, and aspirations. So as your challenge, it may be that how you go about things, manifesting things, or how you go about creating in your life. There may be some adjustments that need to be made. Maybe old ways of doing it aren't cutting it anymore. Perhaps with manifesting, there are some old wounds in the way that need to be cleared out and released or healed before you can fully manifest in the manner that you want to. And there may be wounds considering money or prosperity, or feelings of needing to let go of old things you were taught on how you manifest. There may be ways to manifest that have a lot more to do with faith in yourself, faith in the process, than that is coming to the forefront for you to deal with now. There may be a blockage in the way, or you feel that there's a blockage in the way that has to do with manifesting what you want in your life. And being able to be so abundant that you have extra time and extra money, extra time to be able to create other things, to share with other people. Also, this may be saying not only are there blockages with being able to manifest, but blockages in your belief in yourself to be able to create in a non-logical way, if that makes any sense, to have it come more from the heart or more from faith in your abilities. What is helping you? Also, trust your own wisdom when it comes to what you're trying to manifest and create in your life at this time. Everything is set up for you to be abundant at this time. It's just a matter of letting go of anything in your psyche that gets in the way of fully expressing that. What is helping you is judgment. And I know that the word judgment brings up a lot of mixed feelings in a lot of people. Some people consider the word judgment a negative word. But really, how I look at it is another word to replace that with is assessment. It's basically just assessing and also becoming aware of certain things that maybe you weren't aware of before. So what is helping you is to assess your life, assess what you're doing, also assess what's going on in your psyche, and release and let go of anything that does not fall in line with your higher calling. And your higher calling mainly just means your purpose or a sense of direction on where you're headed and what you're trying to do. And also what you feel called to express in the world. So there may be certain parts of your being that are coming up from the subconscious in order to be faced, which is part of this healing journey of the Hierophant being in your challenged position. There are some things in your own nature that perhaps you're more aware of at this time than usual, where they're rearing their heads for you to be able to see. And try not to judge yourself harshly. Assessment is mainly just taking a good look at what is in your own psyche, what's going on in your life, and to peel back layers that hold you back or make you feel trapped where you're unable to follow your higher path. So basically, assessment is what's helping you, and releasing anything that gets in the way. At your core, you have the Nine of Swords, which, it looks terrible, but the good message of this card is usually whatever you're worrying about or troubled by, whatever's keeping you from being able to be at peace or be able to sleep soundly, is generally most of the time in your own head. There may be a small seed of truth to whatever is bothering you, but it's nothing compared to what your imagination does to it. So I look at this as, so far, it's a major time in your life right now. You have a lot of major arcana in here. This makes sense. Uranus just went into Taurus, so I'm sure you're having to renovate and do a lot of assessing and letting go of things. Otherwise, it could shock you in the future if you don't take care of it now. But basically, at your core, you're worried, you're stressed. You're not sure if you can do this. It's a big path to be on, to be able to create what you want, to look at your wounds and heal them, and to assess your life and let go. Letting go is sometimes very hard for Tauruses to do because they're very much the Empress. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the goddess of love and beauty. The Empress is ruled by Venus. This is one of your cards. So what you really want is stability and creativity, but it looks like there's a lot of things internally inside of yourself that are being shaken up right now, and that you're becoming more aware of. Parts of yourself that you may feel like it's knocking your sense of self off. It's challenging your personal sense of identity. Perhaps you're going through some kind of identity crisis where certain things are coming up that are making you feel not so great about yourself, and that perhaps were sealed before, that you kind of shoved down into your subconscious. Let me pick a remedy card to go with this core card. Very nice. So how you can handle this whole situation, because it seems very intense and very large. This is your remedy for that worry and stress, is the Princess of Cups, which is all about play. This is all about play. It's all about taking it easy, not taking yourself too seriously, or not laying too many expectations on yourself. I'm getting right now that you may be reluctant to go forward because you want to do the best possible job and be perfect at it. But this is saying it's something that you've never done before, or if you have gone through this transformational stuff before, it's not quite to the scale that it is now. And so really play. Take time out to just enjoy life, to be yourself, to be genuine, and to play, stay flexible, and also to honor your own feelings. If there's inner longings to cultivate more spiritual things in your life, or what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say cultivating your inspiration and childlike nature, where you enjoy life again and approach it as an adventure. And also to be able to show to others your deepest talents that you're actually quite vulnerable about. Perhaps there are things that haven't been nurtured as much as you would like, and so these talents are almost like little children that you have to take care of. Also, if you have children, this is saying spending time with your children, helping them cultivate their own talents and gifts, and to nurture their sensitivities, also re-nurtures your own inner child by doing that with your own children. So that looks good. As your recent past, you have the Two of Wands, which is about making a choice. And also, again, adventure, or wanting more than what you have right now. Wanting something new. Whether it's moving to a new location, going on a trip to a place you've never been before, investing in something that you have never invested in before, perhaps starting a new venture overseas or in a different location, or even thinking about moving in general, or switching careers, or switching up what you're doing in your life. You have the whole world in your hands. It's totally possible for you to go towards what you want. You just need to make a decision. But this is your recent past, so you've already been mulling this over and thinking about this. As in, what would happen if I did make this choice? If I did switch things up, would I still be able to be stable? Would it turn out to be what I wish it to be? The feeling that I'm getting is that it would, if you took the chance, or if you've been mulling over a decision. It looks like a good decision. I would say definitely go towards the new, and not release the old, honor the old, carry it with you, your skills and talents and the things that you've already done, but mainly it's about moving forward into uncharted waters. As your best possible outcome, you have the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is about quick, fast movement and a lot of things up in the air. It's definitely not a stability card. It's more about multiple options and multiple chances, choices, things that you could do that are all up in the air, and all of them possibly look good, but you're not sure which ones to go for. But basically this says now is not the time to try to box yourself in or settle on anything in particular just yet. Things are up in the air for a reason. There may be some opportunities that haven't arrived yet that are on their way. Once things settle down, which will, I'm getting, be by the end of this month, things should settle down and make more sense to you on what the heck is going on, or whereas most of the choices right now look tempting, they're all up in the air, so it's hard to tell which ones would be the most practical or long-lasting ones, or things that are not just pipe dreams or possibilities. Then they become realities rather than just possibilities. So when things land, you'll have a better idea of what to pick or what to choose because you'll see where they've landed. So basically everything's up in the air. As your best possible outcome, your advice is to roll with the punches, to accept things for what they are at this time, to try not to decide on anything just yet until things land. And to stay flexible. Flexibility is a big thing in here. It's telling you definitely to try to be more flexible and allow things to just be. Eventually things will make a little bit more sense. There's so much internal stuff that's coming up to be dealt with at this time. It's not exactly the best time to do anything externally anyway. You have to clear all this stuff out first before you know what you're doing. Let me pick a remedy card for that as well. Nice. So your remedy card, not that that's a negative card at all, it just definitely is a tricky one, is the Three of Pentacles, which is putting your talents out there and believing in your abilities. To not be shy, to not hold back, to shine like the sun. Show your abilities, show your talents. Don't be afraid to show off who you are. As long as you do that, and you believe that things will keep on growing, you should have extremely good luck. And you'll definitely get signs, invitations, and feedback that is extremely positive and leads you to believe that things are going to get better. Things are going to get much more prosperous. If you look at this, this is a 3 in the minor arcana. This falls underneath the Empress, who is the major arcana 3. So if you look at them, the Empress is abundant, fruitful, happy, relaxed in her beautiful garden, which is all of nature. She always knows how to manifest. She never doubts her ability to manifest and create. She's Mother Nature. So 3 is a number of growth, it's a number of abundance, and it's a number of things ripening. And 3 of Pentacles is the ripening of money, skills, career, things that you enjoy doing that can create prosperity in your life. So again, throwing yourself out there is the best possible thing you can do, as well as staying flexible and not necessarily making any major decisions just yet. In your near future, you have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is not a happy card. This is about endings, possibly endings you didn't see coming, or an ending that's painful, that did not end in a good way. Sometimes this can represent being gossiped about or slandered by people that you think are your friends. Sometimes this can be even inner sabotaging yourself by putting yourself in situations that your intuition probably knows are not that good for you, and lo and behold, it doesn't end well in the long run. This is a not so great card to get as your near future, so let me pick a clarifier for that. Strength. Nice. So in the near future, stay strong. There's something that needs to end in order for you to begin. You have to clear out all the old ghosts, all the old skeletons in the closet, all the old grief and pain caused by things in the past. It may be that you want to take some kind of a leap or a risk into something new, or to get over the feeling of people are going to slander you or cause problems for you. You need to maintain your boundaries, is what this strength card is saying. In the near future, maintain your boundaries. Stay flexible, allow things to unfold, deal with your own inner stuff that's coming up, but stay strong in who you are, what you know is right for you, and if anything feels like it's taking your energy away or stabbing you in the back, lay down your boundaries and put that out to the universe that you will no longer tolerate that type of energy, and you will no longer associate or align your forces with people that would do something like that. I don't get the feeling that this is current. I'm getting the feeling that this is from the past. This may be part of that Chiron healing journey that is your challenge at this time. You may even have a lot of self-defeating thoughts in your own head about, oh, I wouldn't be able to do that because people would just strike me down anyway. Or I'm afraid to align with the right people because what if they end up stabbing me in the back? So this is something that most definitely needs to be addressed. This is old stuff. Okay. Right now, you are the High Priestess. So trust your intuition above all else. Whatever your gut feeling is about things, it's correct. And I don't mean giving into old fears or old bad programming in your head that holds you back. I'm talking about your true inner voice. If you get a feeling that a risk is worth taking, then you need to take it. If you get a gut feeling that a particular person wouldn't be a good person to ally with, then don't. If you get a gut feeling that somebody can be trusted, trust them. So trust your own intuition at this time. It's very strong, more than usual. Also, pay attention to signs. In your surroundings, you have the Hanged Man. I don't know if you can see that. The Hanged Man is about things being put on hold in order for you to get more inspiration and clarity about what the heck you're doing with yourself in your life. Sometimes it represents things slowing down externally where not much seems to be happening. Things are put on hold. Things are taking longer than you thought. This is in your surroundings. So perhaps with your recent past thinking about how you want to move forward in the future and making choices about either if you want to relocate or if you want to go in a new direction, until you completely believe that this is possible, because with your inner core being the Knight of Swords, it says you somehow doubt this, maybe because of past issues. Once you make this decision, you decide to move forward. This surrounding energy of things being put on hold will loosen up and become quicker. It's really interesting to me because you have sped up energy, the Eight of Wands, pardon me. The Eight of Wands as your best possible outcome, which is things speeding up and moving very quickly, and also things being up in the air and multiple choices to choose from, where in your surroundings things are slowing down. Possibly for you to go on the equivalent of a vision quest in order to get back in touch with what your soul really wants. You have a lot of major arcana in here. This is a big deal. So in your surroundings, don't become too frustrated. This isn't going to happen for very much longer. And if anything, instead of looking at it as an annoyance, maybe it's becoming slower and harder for you to find a place to live. Or normally the people that surround you, that you spend a lot of time with, all of a sudden they go away for a little bit, or they're dealing with their own stuff, and all of a sudden you're left alone. And you have all this empty space and time that you're not sure what to do with. Use that time for things like self-care, introspection, and also going out into nature to get clarity, putting yourself in a different position. If you look at the Hanged Man, he is literally looking at things in a different way. He's looking at things from a different perspective. And externally, he's hung up. But internally, he's listening with that ear of his to the inner voices, to the inner promptings, to the High Priestess, his own intuition, and also anything that may come to him through guides or spirits as well, or just come to him in a flash. So concerning your surroundings, allow it to be what it is, and use it to look at things in a different way. And you should eventually get some kind of clarity or inspiration as to how to proceed from here. Perhaps you're having a hard time finding a place to live, or things are put on hold and you're not finding things quick enough. That's okay. For whatever reasons, it's not the right time yet. Your fears is the Two of Swords, which is not knowing what to choose and not knowing how to move forward. Being locked in your own head with not knowing how to proceed, and also being blinded to what's available to you. Being stuck in your own head, in other words. I do see some things that are related to it here. And to me, this speaks of old stuff. This was your recent future, which is the Ten of Swords, which is a feeling of being defeated, or a feeling of things not ending in a good way, which I view as coming from the past. Or something needs to be ended first before you can continue with what you're doing now. At your core, you have the Nine of Swords, which is worry and stress, and too many negative thoughts in your own head about, oh no, feeling defeated before you've even started, you know. So mainly, the only blockages I'm getting in here are things in your own mind. And if you can release that and focus instead on hope, inspiration, trusting your intuition, and moving forward and throwing your gifts out there, then that can be easily dissolved. And you will have conquered this challenge, which is to heal and be able to bridge above and below where you can manifest properly what you want. Stay away from drama involving other people at this time. It's not good for you. Try to focus on the people that you feel comfortable with. So, as your general outcome, you have the Knight of Cups, which is lovely. And this is a Pisces card, by the way. This can also be a person in your life. So, as well as it being a possible person or ally or dear friend or lover in your life, this is also an aspect of yourself as a general outcome, where I see you completely moving forward and becoming re-inspired by life with what you view would make you extremely happy in your life to be able to cultivate. Which the Knight of Cups, the Pisces card, represents things like empathy, compassion, generosity, kind-heartedness, and being genuine, being completely genuine about how you feel, who you are, what you want, and honoring the feminine in life as an archetype, honoring the intuitive processes, honoring imagination, honoring inspiration, and also allowing things to flow, not trying to control anything, just embracing the process for what it actually is and allowing things to unfold, and also following the signs and going with that flow, going with that stream. So the other one that reminds me of this was your remedy card for your worry and stress and overthinking, thinking too much. These are very similar. The princess they're both vulnerable. They're both very vulnerable, but vulnerable in a way where they trust the energy around them to hold their vulnerability, to not be attacked, and to cultivate that vulnerability where you get in touch with your truest self and what really actually matters to you. And things like romance, deep feeling, following your bliss, realizing that you don't know everything about it, and that's perfectly fine because you're learning as you go. Adventure. Also, if you receive any invitations by genuine people that truly care about you and want to get to know you, I would advise you to take the opportunities or take the invitations. That would lead you in a really good direction. So between your two outcomes, as your best possible outcome, hopefully you can see these okay. It's kind of tricky to angle them. The main best possible outcome thing for you to do is allow things to fly through the air at this time, because there's nothing you can do about it anyway. Also, the best possible thing is for things to speed up and not be so slow anymore, and to stay flexible. Also, throw your talents and your abilities out there where people can see it. And you should experience instantaneous encouragement, honor, recognition, and growth from that process of not being shy. And your general outcome is to follow your heart. And that way, all of those fears, worries, stress will fall off, and you'll be able to finally get some good sleep and start to enjoy life again. Not that you haven't been enjoying life, but there's definitely some things cropping up at this time that are making you feel insecure. Okay, so that was your general reading. Hopefully that helped. And next, I'm going to do some specifics. Hang on one moment. Hello, I'm back. This is going to be a quick love reading for Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Okay. I'm going to do a 6-card spread. Very nice so far anyway. Just when I said that. Interesting. Okay. I'm almost feeling like this is specific for a particular person watching, but we'll see. Okay. Your first card out of the 6 for love is a very, very nice card to get. That's the 10 of Cups. This is total emotional fulfillment. This is everything, feeling as though you have everything that you ever wanted. This is the happily ever after card. This is the extreme feeling of being blessed in all different ways, which is very nice. Oftentimes in other decks, this is portrayed by a happy family. Mother, father, and children playing with a little dog. So basically, you feel as though you've been extremely blessed. And if you haven't felt as though you've been completely blessed, this is entirely possible for you to have with love. And it may not be in the way that you think. It can be manifested in a whole lot of ways. It can be a feeling of belonging to a tribe, a group, a family, a partner, just feeling as though you are connected to everything in a good way. Your next card is the Empress again. Interesting. So you may very well, if you are a man, this could be a major relationship where you feel as though this is the woman of your dreams. Or this is what you're aiming for. This is what you really want, rather than settling. This is what you truly want for relationships for yourself if you're single. This is what you're aiming for. If you're in an existing relationship, it looks really nice to me. This is a feeling of fulfillment, a feeling of having all your needs met, of feeling well fed in a multitude of different ways. And also, this could be a Libra or another Taurus, or just someone in your life who's almost larger than life, that is very Venusian, which is all about peace, love, happiness, having what you need, feeling fruitful. You can manifest what you want. The next card, however, is Death. And considering your general reading, this is making me think that old things need to pass away and lay at rest before you can manifest truly what you want. There are some old ghosts, old memories, things that have not worked out in the past, or just something that needs to be let go of. This can also mean possibly deciding to switch up your situation and let go of your stability in order to try something new. I don't necessarily mean leaving one person for another person. If you are happy where you're at in an existing relationship, this just means possibly you guys are thinking of ending your home and moving someplace, or trying something new together, or possibly starting a family together. So something needs to end before you can fully manifest what you want. Can be an old way of the relationship. It can also possibly mean letting go of a stable situation in order to bust out on your own and figure out what it is that you truly want. There may be some part of you that feels as though you're not being fed the way that you would like. Sorry about the jiggles. And the next card is the Two of Wands again. So again, you have to make a choice in love. Do you want to stay, or do you want to try something new? Do you and your partner want to move someplace else together, or try a different journey in life together? Or do you need to leave an existing relationship in order to go out on your own and figure out what you truly want? It may be that you've gotten a little bit too stagnant. It could also be that you're in love with someone who lives far away, and you're thinking about moving to where they're at so you can be near them finally. Your next card is the Six of Pentacles. And so with love, you definitely want to manifest a relationship where there's equal give and take, where there's equal power, equal give and take, equal generosity and caring for the other person's needs. Total sharing and mutual respect, which looks wonderful. This is entirely possible, by the way. It definitely takes two people to do that, but that's what you truly want. This is underneath the Empress. This is what you want to manifest. If you don't have this already, you're definitely getting the inklings that it's time to go so that you can find this. If you already have this, you want to cultivate it more. and possibly have some adventures together. You may also be thinking about possibly going into business with the person that you're with, if you are with someone, in which case it would be extremely fruitful. Your next final card is the Ten of Pentacles, which is the epitome of family and community. This is people sharing their resources with each other, sharing what they have with one another. This brings to mind things to me like potlucks, family gatherings, weddings, reasons to celebrate and for people to gather together. Because it's underneath death, I'm wondering if there's something that needs to end or be released concerning family. Maybe you thought you wanted a more traditional situation in your life, but you're realizing now that you want something a little bit different. Or you want to have this, and you feel as though you don't have this, or there's something about this that needs to change in order for you to find this for real. This is a feeling of being supported, of mutual support with a whole group. This fell underneath death. So I'm wondering, I'm just going to throw it out there, is there possibly a death in the family and you and your partner have to travel to go to the funeral or receive an inheritance of some kind? Or there's something about the way that you view family that needs to end in order for you to fully manifest true family. Interesting. Above all else, though, it looks good to me. You have some really nice cards in here. Okay, I think I've said everything I need to say with love, so let's go to career next. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. So this is going to be for jobs, money, and career. For Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising for July 2018. And again, I'm going to do a 6-card spread. Okay, let's see what comes up. Okay. Your first card for career and money is the 9 of Wands. Your next card is the High Priestess again. Looks like you really need to use your intuition with money and career at this time. Really trust your gut feelings. Also, if you receive mysterious advice concerning money and career from someone that passes through your life, pay attention to what they say, especially if it backs up something that you already feel. The next card is the Knight of Swords. On the bottom row, there's the Magician. Lovely. This is very good, especially underneath the 9 of Wands. The next one on the bottom row is the Princess of Swords. The final one is the Princess of Wands. Lovely. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to throw some things out there. Concerning money and career, you've done a lot of work already. You've set a lot of things into motion. You're almost done with some kind of project or thing you've been working on for quite some time. You're very close to finally finishing. At this time, it's important for you to stand up for yourself and show off what you're capable of. If you look at this card, to me, it always makes me think of a salesperson because he's showing off his wands, even just by the way that he's standing. He looks like a circus, what do you call that guy? The circus master of deflecting, directing energy, drawing energy to certain things. It's like a salesperson or someone who has to really take on the role of almost a theatrical way of finishing up a project. At this point, the majority of the work has already been done. Now it's just a matter of putting it out there, selling it, showing it off to people. Showing off to people what you're capable of so that you can finally be done with it. So that takes a great deal of confidence and also ability to use your body language, your tone of voice, use your skills with dealing with other people. Your next card is the High Priestess. So again, trust your intuition when it comes to your career and money. If you get a gut feeling that you need to take a risk on something, then do it. If you get a gut feeling that someone wouldn't be good to ally up with, then don't. If you get a gut feeling that you need to speak up more, which is the next card, then do it. Also, you may want to listen to inner promptings or dreams or visions to receive any information of new ways of doing things. If you use your intuition to invest, it would be a good investment. So your next card is the Knight of Swords. So concerning money and career. If you have been waiting for something, some information, if you haven't received it yet, it's time to speak up and be a little bit firmer and clearer about the fact that you need whatever that information is, or paperwork or forms or a yes or a no from someone. Concerning dealing with people that are go-getter, almost aggressive types with how they communicate, step it up a notch to match them, but in a playful way. Like this guy almost seems angry, you know, where he's ready to go to war in how he's communicating. If you compare it with this one, though, it's interesting because they're almost similar in a strange way, except one is very fierce and very insistent about what he's trying to say or get information-wise. This guy is much more playful. This guy is almost playing with his role instead of taking it so seriously. He's playing with his energy. So I would advise you to go more with this energy. If you encounter this energy from other people, address it with this energy. Don't address it by the same type of energy, if that makes any sense. Hopefully that made sense. So again, feel okay about seeking information and getting information that you need, but try to play with your role rather than coming off as too aggressive. You can easily deflect difficult people by not taking the situation too seriously and by realizing that you have a role to play and you can play with that role playing. Okay, the next card is the Magician, which is great. This may be a new idea or a new job or a new way of making money or realizing your potential and power, and that you can do these things on your own. You don't necessarily need to work with other people in order to manifest what you want with career and money. This says your own way is probably the best way at this time, rather than aligning with other people so much. Trust your own intuition on how to proceed and move forward, and if you take the action steps to manifest it, you shouldn't have any obstacles, you shouldn't have any problems with this. It should happen fairly quickly and easily. Realize your own power with what you do. The next card is the Princess of Swords. So again, there is a message in here about concerning dealing with other people, especially with speech, communication, messages, emails, phone calls, just all of those communications things. Play with it. Play with your role. Don't take it too seriously. Be lighthearted. Experiment with how you communicate. And as long as you do that and you don't engage if there is anything difficult, that will reap you the best results. And also, if you work with children by any chance, you need to trust your intuition and maybe try new methods of dealing with the children that don't come across as taking their power away, if that makes any sense. I know that's kind of random to say, but if you do work with children, try to watch how you address things with them. You may need to be a little bit more gentle, or listen to what they have to tell you. And this also goes with, I'm getting something about balancing your home life, and if you do have children, balancing the time that you have with your children with your career and money. Don't spend so much energy on your career and money situation that you're neglecting your children. So it's important for you to strike a balance between those two things. Then you have another princess, who's the Princess of Wands. So not only are you being called to experiment with how you communicate with career and money, but also with how you do things and your actual strategies and how you take action steps towards things. Again, don't take yourself so seriously. Play with it, experiment with it, and see what kinds of results you get. If there are new talents or new methods or new ways of doing something, you may need to learn more about that so you can incorporate it in with what you already do. And if you do that, your results will be amazing. Empowerment, empowerment, empowerment of your inner child, or any children in your life as well, or especially if you have a career that deals with children. To empower them, uplift them, praise their talents and abilities so that they can continue to experiment and learn in the best possible way. And you can also use that as an analogy for yourself as well. Okay, that's it. Then next is health. I'm back. Now we're going to do a short reading for your health, and then we'll be done. Sorry about the jiggles. I always forget that this table is wobbly. Health. So this is a health reading for Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising sign for July 2018. Okay. Another 6-card spread. Interesting. Okay. On the top row, you have the Princess of Cups. This one, the princesses have been coming out quite a bit for Aries and Taurus so far. Makes sense. The inner planets are never very far from the sun, so there's a lot of Taurus people who have planets in Aries and a lot of Aries people who have planets in Taurus out there. The next one is the Seven of Wands. third one on the top, which I find extremely interesting in a health reading, is the Two of Cups. On the bottom row is the Nine of Wands again. Interesting. And I find it interesting always how similar these two cards are in a certain way, except one's on defense and the other one is just playing with the energy, but they're both very similar. Okay. The next one is the Seven of Swords. I don't know if you can see this. My cards are ancient. I've had them for forever, so they're pretty scuffed. This is the spiral deck, by the way. And your final card for health is the Ace of Wands. That's excellent, you guys. Excellent. You can easily reverse your health problems away if you have any, and I'll tell you exactly how. So to me, what I'm getting in here is that you're thinking about a shift in your life where you're going to try something new or try a new avenue, possibly with a partner. If you have a partner, you and your partner may be thinking about switching things up and trying a completely new thing, whether it's a new location, a new career together, a new possibly starting a family or having a baby, or just wanting to go and travel together. Or it could be releasing an old relationship in order to continue a new one of someone that is much more of an equal partner for you, where you easily understand each other and meld your energies quite well. But what I'm really getting in here is that there may be a shift that you're thinking about that you haven't quite shared with anyone yet. You may be, for now, being secretive about this shift. While you're still planning out how you're going to go about doing it, you don't want to lay all your cards out on the table yet when you're not quite sure whether you're going to do this or not. You may be still in the beginning stages of working out what it is exactly that you want or how to proceed forward. You may be thinking about completely releasing an old way of doing things in order to start on a new path, and for now you're holding that to yourself. There may be some situations where you're on the defense concerning your own personal truth, like you're afraid that people are going to not understand where you're coming from, or to think badly of you for making this shift, and so you may be reluctant as of yet whether or not to move forward with this, because if you are, it's going to shake up things quite a bit. And somehow all these things are related to your health. So as far as your health goes, I see you as actually having pretty good health. If you do have health problems, they're more concerned with things like anxiety, feeling as though you can't share all of yourself with other people for fear of being judged or misunderstood. And so I see a heaviness on the heart chakra area and the solar plexus area. So it could be a feeling of heaviness. It could be actual pain. It could be problems breathing. It could be problems with just simply relaxing and problems with anxiety. As far as any other health problems, I don't really see much in here, unless it has to do with your lymph system, possibly, in which case I would recommend you do some kind of a cleanse to cleanse out your lymph system. And again, that has to do with emotions. So most of your health problems, if you have any, is emotionally based, and also based in feeling as though you can't show all of who you are, if that makes any sense. So what would be your remedy? I see that as being these three cards. The Ace of Wands, the Princess of Cups, and the Two of Cups. So aligning yourself with soul family, also romantic partners, and also your own children, if you have any, with a childlike heart and a willing to compromise and a willing to have equal give and take with other people, as well as no shame in following your true path. The people who understand will understand. The people who don't understand won't understand, and that's okay. You don't have to take that on. That has nothing to do with you in a way. You're either going to be supported or you won't. And there are people in your life that are supporting you emotionally with any new changes and new directions, new journeys that you want to take. And focusing on those alliances will significantly, the feeling of being emotionally supported by others will significantly release any anxiety or worries or feelings of entrapment that you might have, or feelings of having to be defensive towards other people's perceived attacks or judgments. So hopefully that helped. And until next time, I wish you guys all the best and many, many, many blessings to you.